Hello YouTube, Freddie Cardona here. Welcome back to another episode of Driving and the News. Today is December 16th, 2022, and let's get right to it.
Traffic in seconds was AccuWeather and 10 Winds Glen Chuck on the road. A shooting in an Inwood bodega leaves a man dead, killed in front of his little girl. Waiting for the opening bell, the Dow dropped more than 700 yesterday on the Fed rate hike. What now? Here comes another one. Health officials warn about a possible spike in strep in addition to the triple-demic of COVID, flu, and RSV. Not on your government phone, you don't. Senate passes a bill to ban TikTok from federal devices because of security concerns. Rangers win their fifth straight. Devils lose. Yanks sign another big-ticket free agent. 10 Winds AccuWeather. Rain and wind, maybe flooding. 45 in the city, cooler to the north and west. Winds use time 7:41. Traffic and transit now with Russ Meyer.
And Kathleen, New Jersey's thoroughfare is not the place to be this morning. Turnpike and Parkway both having a rough go. Watching delays on our Subaru Solterra Storm Cam on the Garden State Parkway north and southbound. The southbound crash takes out one lane over by exit 151 in Nutley. That's backed up to 154. And northbound, some earlier delays into that area are easing, but it's still going to be slow. No lane closures northbound. Nightmare on the New Jersey Turnpike. It is backed up from interchange 10 all the way up to interchange 13. Only one lane is open at 13 in the truck lanes because of an overturned tractor trailer. Car lanes, of course, can't handle all that, so we're backed up over 14 miles as a result. North of 13, you're okay over by 13A. Southbound traffic not impacted. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Lighter than normal at the Hudson River crossings, only about 10:15 at the Lincoln, about 25 at the Holland, and over at the George Washington Bridge. Also 30-minute delays on NJ Transit, 30 to 45-minute delays on NJ Transit into and out of New York Penn Station because of a signal issue in Secaucus. Our next report at 7:51. I'm Russ Meyer, 10 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Come out to MetLife Stadium on Sunday, December 18th at 1 p.m. to see the New York Jets host the Detroit Lions, presented by Prism by Panini. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets.
Well, at least we don't have to shovel it. The nor'easter is bringing a lot of wind and rain to our area. We are activating the Mazda Storm Desk to help you get around. Let's start with an AccuWeather update from meteorologist Dean DeVore.
Kathleen, it is really a wet mess out there. Some of the heaviest pockets of rain of the day still coming through the morning commute. Watch for the ponding of the roadways, flooding, and poor drainage areas. Wind also an issue. We got wind advisories out for Bronx, Borough, also southern Queens, all of Long Island, and then up into the coastal Connecticut and back into the Westchester County suburbs. Gusts to 50 miles per hour. Inland spots 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts. Watch for this rain to switch back over to some snow showers before ending this evening, and then it's a cold, brisk weekend ahead. What a windy, wet, and raw day. We'll keep you up to date minute by minute on New York's weather station, 10 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Now, as you've been hearing in 10 Winds traffic, it is pretty awful out there. 10 Winds Glen Chuck is in Rockland.
A little bit of everything here. The New York Thruway where it meets 287. They had snow last night and rain and fog this morning. Driving is still not ideal. Scott Haas is headed into Manhattan early in the morning.
So from what you've seen, the roads seem to be pretty good right now, right? Yeah, right now we're okay. Just take it slow. What's the issue when you're out this early in the morning, though? Is it the people not paying attention? Is it the speeding or what? Yeah, the speeding. People really got to slow it down. They still do, right? We're just watching them here. So. Yeah, they just really got to realize there's other people on the road. Are you a fan of this? I mean, do you want winter weather to stick around? Or No. I hate winter weather.
And even though there's no snow, a work from home day, well, today may be a good one. Glen Chuck, 10 Winds at 92.3 FM in Suffern and Rockland County.
Of course, stay with 10 Winds at 92.3 FM for everything you need to get you through. Winds use time 7:44. A man was shot to death in front of his young daughter in an Upper Manhattan bodega yesterday.
A stop for an after-school snack turning deadly at this bodega on Nagel Avenue near Thayer Street. Surveillance from the 144 Deli Grocery shows 30-year-old Takeem Berry approached by a man in a green North Face. Inside, they appear to argue, going outside then back in when the suspect pulls a gun and shoots Berry in the chest right in front of his 9-year-old daughter.
When I told her, your father is going to be good. we keep her inside. She didn't see nothing. So everybody from the community, they come to help the girl.
The deli's owner says they tried to protect her as others tried to help her father, who stumbled outside.
The police tried to save him.
Barry died at Harlem Hospital. Sources say it appears Barry and the suspect knew each other. Now police want to know where the shooter is. Samantha Leapman, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Inwood.
The woman who accused a former top advisor to New York Attorney General Letitia James of sexual misconduct has filed a suit against the AG, claiming she and her office ignored earlier warnings. Sophia Kintenauer filed suit under the state's Adult Survivors Act, claiming former Chief of Staff Ibrahim Khan forcibly kissed her after a fundraiser at a Brooklyn bar last year. Kintenauer charges that James and her office knew he had a propensity for sexual harassment and assault and were negligent in hiring and supervising him. Khan resigned after the allegations became public, but has denied wrongdoing. James's office says they did take the allegations seriously and acted promptly and decisively. Well, there were a lot of red arrows on Wall Street yesterday. The Dow was down more than 700 points. Other exchanges dipped too, as Wall Street wiped out all of its week's gains. Investors are apparently concerned that the economy is moving toward a recession. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
A day after the Federal Reserve raised short-term interest rates by 0.5 percentage point, investors sold stocks. With rates this high, the fear is that consumers and businesses will pull back. And there was additional data out that did show a softening of consumer spending in the retail sales report.
Of course, stay with 1010 Wins for Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour and the opening bell at 9:30. Well, make that 4 dangerous illnesses circulating out there. There are new worries about an increase in strep A in kids.
The World Health Organization is tracking another threat, an uptick in rare but invasive strep A infections among children that can be life-threatening. Hospitals in at least 4 states are reporting an uptick in strep cases.
That is correspondent Ariel Reshef. Doctors say to watch for a sore throat that does not improve after a couple of days, difficulty swallowing, a rash, a fever, or just a kid who's not acting like themselves. And all of this in addition to the triple-demic of COVID, flu, and RSV. Now with that, you can get more free home COVID tests now.
This is part of a White House winter preparedness plan as COVID cases and hospitalizations rise around the country. You can go to covidtest.gov to request testing kits, which will be shipped out the week of December 19th. The White House had paused the shipments in early September. At that time, officials said the decision was to ensure we have a limited supply of tests available for the potential surge in the fall.
Correspondent Cammie McCormick reporting. Also today, word that more people are getting boosters or planning to. The new survey says, though, still only about 4 in 10 adults have either gotten the bivalent shot or will do it as soon as they can. Well, at bottom of week, the Senate has passed a stopgap bill to keep the government running as budget negotiations continue.
It seems as though Congress does this before each major recess, approving a temporary spending bill to keep the government lights on. The Senate has done it again, but till just before Christmas Eve, the vote's 71-19. It gives the House and Senate a week's breathing room to finish a giant must-pass funding bill for most of the government. Republicans instead want yet another temporary bill next week that will extend into the next Congress, when they are in charge of the House.
That is correspondent Andy Field reporting. The measure now goes to President Biden's desk. Wins News Time 7:49. Rudy Giuliani is now one step closer to disbarment over his efforts to help former President Trump challenge the 2020 results of the election.
The Washington, D.C. Bar Association is now mulling a recommendation to disbar Rudy Giuliani after a preliminary finding he violated at least one rule of attorney practice when he pressed a baseless legal challenge to the 2020 election results in Pennsylvania. A disciplinary council said the seriousness of the misconduct warranted a sanction of disbarment because Giuliani did fundamental harm to the fabric of the country. Giuliani called it an unethical, cheap attack, and his lawyer said Giuliani's service as a federal prosecutor and mayor made a letter of reprimand a more appropriate punishment. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Giuliani's license was temporarily suspended in New York and D.C. over what an appellate court called false and misleading statements about the election. The families of the victims of the Uvalde school massacre came to Capitol Hill yesterday for a hearing on gun violence. They found themselves up against the politics of gun control.
Committee members on both sides of the aisle stuck to their gun control talking points.
Without an assault weapons ban, more people will die. And if we're not going to ban them, then law enforcement must be trained to confront these weapons of war.
there's only one solution for my friends across the aisle. That is to emasculate the Second Amendment and remove guns from legal, lawful, law-abiding citizens.
Correspondent Skylar Henry, Winds News Time 750, traffic next.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong. I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic.
Probiotics? They don't really work.
It's time to learn the truth about probiotics from Align, the probiotic brand recommended by gastroenterologists 2 times more than any other probiotic brand. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel at AlignProbiotics.com.
At the United States Postal Service, we're here to deliver fast and reliable service to help you get holiday ready. We offer free package pickup and deliver free shipping supplies to your address. So whether you're in Garland, Texas, Rudolph, Wisconsin, or anywhere in between, we're making it easier for you to spread festive cheer this holiday season. USPS, delivering for America. For all your holiday needs, including info about free shipping supplies, free package pickup availability, and restrictions, go to USPS.com/holidays.
Winds News Time 751, traffic and transit now. Russ Meyer.
And Kathleen, I have some good news with a big asterisk. We have on the northbound New Jersey Turnpike truck lanes by interchange 13. All lanes just reopened following an overturned tractor trailer. Now that's the good news. The bad news is that it is backed up for 14 miles all the way down towards interchange 10. As this was out there for several hours, it's going to take a while for this to unclog, but we are going to be slowly on the mend. All lanes have been reopened on the northbound Turnpike and interchange 13 in the truck lanes. Car lanes were not impacted, but they're all backed up for multi-miles as well. Southbound Garden State Parkway 154 down to 151. That is tied up with a left lane crash. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Bronx-bound Throgs Neck Bridge, we have a stall blocking the left lane. Things are all right over at the Whitestone on the RFK bridges. And here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Nothing major for the LIE, the Northern State, and the Southern State. Getting by okay this morning. 45-minute delays on NJ Transit into and out of New York Penn Station because of a fire in one of the Hudson River tunnels. This report is sponsored by Cars for Kids. Our next report is at 8:01. I'm Russ Meyer, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
With car prices at an all-time high, Cars for Kids donors are now getting the highest receipts ever. Don't miss out for 2022. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org, and your car can be picked up tomorrow.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast, sponsored by NYNJGenerators.com. Meteorologist Dean DeVore.
If you are listening to us firmly ensconced in your home or your bed, you are ahead of the game. You step out the door and it is rough, it is rainy, it is windy, and it is raw. Real field temperatures averaging in the upper 20s, even at that temperature about 44. The rain is coming down in good clips here and will continue to do so next couple of hours. Then I think we get into more just light to moderate.
Yikes, big truck coming.
Real field temperatures 30s this afternoon. The wind is going to be problematic through about 4 p.m. Advisories out for Long Island, back to the city, all of the Bronx borough and the southern part of the Queensboro, and then up into Westchester County. We've got those advisories even into coastal Connecticut. The other thing I'm worried about is another round of coastal flooding where the Long Island Sound narrows at the bottom. We're going to see a pileup of wind and waves here again for the high tide cycle 2 to 6 p.m. especially where that comes into the city as well on the northern side of the city there. That's going to be problematic through the afternoon. Now, rain may end to some snow showers. Will dry out later tonight, drop to 36. A brisk and very chilly day, low 40s tomorrow. Colder, staying in the 30s on Sunday. And then near 40 to start the week, but a massive Arctic air bringing a really cold second half of next week on the way. In Midtown right now, 43 with a real feel at 28 in the raw rain. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore, New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Driving in the News for December 16th, 2022. We'll see you on the next video.